Satya Dharma Reflection on February the 9th, 2022. Let's do the forgiveness statement first. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. May we all, together with all beings, in all realms of existence, from the lowest hell realms until the Brahma realms, including all the special karmic payback zones, humbly bow down towards the first great Buddha, the Buddhas, the Maha-Buddhas, the Maha-Bodhisattvas, the Maha-Parami of all graces. Please preside over. May we humbly declare renunciation and evocation of all desires and expectations, both in worldly and in Dharma. All the deluded desires and expectations within all elements and within one's own aggregates, body and mind. All the deluded desires and expectation within looking, seeing and knowing, within beliefs and disbelief. May we declare renunciation and evocation of all deluded desires and expectations within merits, great blessed fortunes and perfections, deludedly set up to gain Nibbana. May we declare renunciation and evocation of all of these, and may we all cancel from all vengeance, all the harbor thoughts to revenge, all the commitments and obligations, all the belief values which have been firmly attached to in all periods of times. May we declare renunciation and evocation of all of these, and may we humbly ask for forgiveness for all cases of karma in relation towards all graces, towards the Buddhas, towards the Maha-Parami, towards all the Arahants, the Maha-Arahants, the Gurus and Great Gurus, the Bodhisattvas, all the Maha-Bodhisattvas, Prajeka Buddhas, the Maha-Prajeka Buddhas, all the relations which is not in the way of emptiness to emptiness, Nibbana to Nibbana, all the rejections towards the essence of Nibbana as it is, and all the relations with all holy places, with all Buddhist places, and the places which have passed on from all Gurus and Great Gurus, from all the Buddhas, in every Buddha era, and all the Arahants, the Maha-Arahants, all the relations within all these places, by all the delusion to fixate, or by earning the living, or by spitting saliva, throwing all trashes, all the entertainments, all the enjoyments, all the delusive attachments within all these places, within all the perfections of the Buddhas and of all the Arahants, which have been left with their perfections, and we have been living in the way of delusive attachments and with faith which is not putting down itself, and living with desires, expectations and wishes from all the graces, or from the liberation of suffering, all the offenses, hurting and harming towards all graces, through words, thoughts and actions, whether knowingly or unknowingly, May all cases of karma which has not been related within the worldly elements and samsara, not in the way of emptiness to emptiness, nibbana to nibbana. May we all, together with all beings, humbly ask for forgiveness. May all karma be forgiven from now on. Samsara and Nibbana, may it be ahosi altogether. May everything be forgiven. Ahosi, ahosi, ahosi. Let Samsara and Nibbana be one, so that there will be purification among one another. That is the great compassion. To be obsessed to separate Nibbana from Samsara, it will be just stuck in such a way as Samsara on and on. Where else is it that is blessing by Nibbana? Being obsessed to separate, to discriminate, being obsessed with liberating from something, getting over from something, not attaching from something, on and on. Therefore, don't discriminate. Where is it from, this kind of discrimination? Don't be delusively discriminating anything. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, is to be one with samsara. Then it will be purification of extinction to help one another. And it will be purification of emptiness altogether. This is called the great compassion. It's not about grasping. Let it be one, so that there will be purification altogether. Don't be obsessed to discriminate. That is the habit of rejection. The habit of hatred. What is that? This is still habit. All habits, even they are good ones, still they are spoiled, as they are still habits. That which has nothing to do with habit turns into habit. No matter how good the habits are, they are not considered as good. All that which are not habits are taken as habits. This is all of the vibhak or karmic difficulties of the desire, delusion and delusive attachment. It is the vibhak of the ego, the vibhak of the deluded viewpoint. Let it be one. Nibbana and samsara be one, so that there will be purification among one another, so that there will be giving ending for one another. Nibbana or the enlightenment is not in the status of being separated from anything. Even Nibbana is not Nibbana. There is the delusion by oneself to discriminate, to reject. Having delusional aversion by oneself. That is the vibhak of the delusive attachment, the vibhak of the ego. The vibhak of the desire, of the delusion, of the deluded viewpoints. The vibhak of the yan, the insights. Do you know of the great compassion? If they are only knowing, then it's impossible to know of the great compassion. The knower is just circling. It's just being trapped in itself, circling to itself. If being obsessed to knowing, then it will not be beyond knowing. Therefore, all about great compassion is from Sunyata Nibbana actually. It's from that which has nothing to do with arising or ceasing, being bound or being free. It's from no discrimination. That's why it becomes great compassion. To be obsessed with being bound or being free, that it still remains as samsara, still fighting, still disturbing, still defeating, winning or losing, still delusively choosing or not choosing, delusively rejecting or accepting. Therefore, the great compassion is from no discrimination, from no arising or ceasing, from that which has nothing to do with being bound or being free, from the emptiness that has nothing to do with the emptiness itself, from the emptiness that is not emptiness itself. Nibbana is not Nibbana itself. Why is it so? Because no is not even no itself. Therefore, it becomes the great compassion. Samsara and Nibbana is one. That is forever giving ending for one another, forever, for eons of times, not counting times, not counting reincarnations. It is forever and ever as such. Disregard even from the disregard itself as one with everything. Then it will be the great compassion that is for one another, purification of the extinction for one another. This is not about attempting to be free from anything. The liberation is not liberation itself. So what is there to be liberated from? It's not about attempting to be empty out of anything. The emptiness is not emptiness itself. So what is there to be empty out of? This is only about being deluded to the viewpoint. Trying to be empty out from what? The emptiness is not the emptiness itself. This is just a firm attachment to one's own viewpoint, that's all. Deludedly holding on to one's belief, to one's opinions. Let's move on with the great compassion instantly. Let's conclude all and everything towards ending, not putting into oneself. Even oneself is not oneself. Self is not self either. It's bygone in its own nature. This is making the insubstantial thing as substantial. Misleading to that which is not, to deludedly make it as it is or it is not. Being obsessed with discrimination on and on, separating on and on. Apart from not having compassion or great compassion, it is worse as becoming a burden all by oneself. Where is the delusion and the arrogance is hidden, huh? In which seclusion is it that all the firm beliefs and high opinions are hidden? The seclusion itself has nothing to do with itself, actually. Let's seclude from the seclusion itself. This is not to take anything into the seclusion. Huh? Let's seclude from the seclusion itself. It is not about taking something into seclusion. Seclude from the seclusion itself. Let it be one. Then there will be purification to help one another. Disregard, even from the disregard itself, all the same. Uninvolved, even within the uninvolved itself, all the same. This essence can purify everything, for all responsibilities and works, for all karma and karmic difficulties, for all traits and habits, for all forms and formlessness, body and mind, internally and externally. This or that, everything, all things, all elements and all dharma, whether it's elements, body, minds, dharma, whether it is karma or not, karmic difficulties or not. If it's the true great compassion that is given, then it can purify everything. Let's not be in the way of clinging that much until it's impossible to yield, to let go. Let's not hold on until it's impossible to release it. In the meantime, releasing discards itself at all times. Let's not cling so much so that it's impossible to yield, to let go of it. While every atom is bygone in itself at all times. The anicca discards itself at all times. The anatta is not the anatta itself, is meaningless in itself at any time. Let's not be obsessed with the titi so much so that it's impossible to let go of it. While titi itself is anatta in itself, is meaningless to itself, is bygone in itself. Therefore, don't be stubbornly pushing. Even disregard is not relevant to itself. Disregard even from the disregard itself simultaneously. Let it be one, without discrimination, no separation to the body and the mind, and to all Dharma.
ไม่ต้องมามัวแต่ก่อนไม่ต้องมามัวแต่ก่อนหรือว่าหลังอะไร
There is no need to be busy with steps before or after.
อะไรก่อนอะไรหลังเล่า
What is there that is before or after? What kind of obsession is it? Don't be obsessed with the samutai, the causes of suffering and the suffering.
สงบจากอะไรเล่า
Being peaceful from what?
มัวแต่สงบจากอะไรหรืออะไรในสงบ
Being obsessed with calming down from what? What is there within the calmness, huh?
สิ่งที่มาแล้วไปในสภาพมันเองในสภาวะมันเองในลักษณะมันเองในขณะมันเองอยู่ตลอดเวลา
It's bygone in its nature. It's bygone in its conditions, in its attributes, in its moments. It is as such at all times.
มัวแต่อะไรติดมัวแต่อะไรหลุด
Being obsessed with involvement with being bound and being free.
อะไรเล่าเป็นคอยติดคอยหลุดนั่นน่ะ
What is there that is attempting to be bound or to be free, huh?
มีแต่ขี้ข้านิยมคตินิยม
There's only the servant values and the belief values.
เรียกว่าสมุทัยนิยมทั้งนั้นแหละ
This is giving value to the samutai, huh?
สิ่งที่มันไม่เกี่ยวกับติดสิ่งที่มันไม่เกี่ยวกับหลุดอยู่แล้วนะลูก
It has nothing to do with being bound or being free as it is.
จะได้มาหากรุณากันโดยดุษฎี
With this, there will be great compassion without objection.
ไม่กระทั่งไม่เองดี
Well to disregard even from the disregard itself.
ๆสิ่งเดียวไปเลยลูก
Let it be one with everything, so that there will be purification of extinction among itself.
หัดหาหน่อยสิอย่ามัวแต่หงออยู่
Be a bit more bold. Don't be stuck with just being downhearted.
มัวแต่หลบซ่อนในหลืบในคูแห่งนิ่งแห่งเฉยแห่งสภาวะลักษณะอะไรอยู่เล่าอย่ามัวแต่หงออะไรอยู่เล่าหัดหาหน่อยสิ
Being obsessed in hiding within a corner of stillness and indifference in a state of mind or within any kinds of conditions. Don't be obsessed to be stuck with just downhearted on and on. Let's be bold a little bit more.
สิ่งเดียวไปเลยสรรพสิ่งนั่นน่ะ
Be one with all things.
ไม่กระทั่งไม่เอง
Disregard even from the disregard itself as one with all the samsara.
มันจะดับล้างกันไปเองว่างล้างกันไปเองหรอกมันไม่ได้ยุ่งยากเหมือนเอาน้ำไปดับไฟหรอก
Automatically, there will be the purification of the extinction and the emptiness. It will not be as difficult as trying to put off the fire by using the water.
มันไม่ได้เหน็ดเหนื่อยไม่ล้ายุ่งยากเหมือนเอาน้ำไปดับไฟหรอก
There won't be any exhaustion as much as trying to put off the fire by using water.
ไม่กระทั่งไม่เอง
Disregard even from the disregard itself as one with everything.
ไม่เลือกไม่จำแนกดินฟ้าอากาศ
With the nature or the climate, give no discrimination, no options to it.
ไม่จำแนกธาตุไม่จำแนกขันธ์ไม่จำแนกธรรมไม่ต้องจำแนกอะไรสิ่งเดียวกันไปเลย
Let there be no discrimination to the elements, to the aggregates, to all Dharma. Let all be one.
มันจะได้หมดคติวิบากในการขัดแย้งอะไร
With this, it will give ending to all conflicts, which is from the vibhag of all beliefs.
มันจะได้ไปล้างตัวคติในการขัดแย้งคติวิบาก
There will be the purification to all attitudes of having conflicts. It is the karmic difficulties of the attitudes.
มัวแต่ไปหลงขัดแย้งกับสิ่งที่ยังต้องท่ามกลางมันอยู่นั้นน่ะ
There's a preoccupation with being deluded to have conflicts towards that which one has to be amidst it.
มัวแต่ไปหลงขัดแย้งกับสิ่งที่ต้องอยู่กับมันนั่นน่ะ ฉลาด
It is stupid or smart, huh?
ไอ้มัวแต่ขัดแย้งกับสิ่งที่ต้องอยู่กับมันนั่นน่ะมันโง่หรือฉลาดไอ้มัวแต่หลงปฏิเสธมันในขณะที่อยู่ท่ามกลางมันน่ะมันโง่หรือมันฉลาด
To deludedly rejecting it, while one is amidst it, is it smart or stupid, huh?
มันคืออะไรเล่า
What is that?
คือวิบากคือทิฏฐิวิบาก
It's actually the karmic difficulties of having high opinions of oneself.
คือคติอคติวิบากนั่นเอง
In fact, it is the karmic difficulties of the attitudes and biases.
ล้วนแล้วแต่เป็นภาระกับสังสารวัฏทั้งนั้นแหละลูก
This is the entire burden for the samsara.
ล้างสิ
Purify it, huh?
รหัสในแห่งการตรัสรู้ก็มอบไว้ให้อยู่แล้วในทุกสันดร
All the implications of the enlightenment has been given already in every Buddha era.
ไม่เป็นกระทั่งไม่เอง
Disregard, even from the disregard itself. No grasping, even to the non-grasping itself.
แล้วมันจะล้างกันเอง
Then there will be purification within itself. Whether it is the purification of extinction or emptiness, it will happen automatically. Continue with the great compassion. Be one with all.
อย่ามัวแต่หลงในคติคู่อยู่
Don't be obsessed to be deluded with dualities, being bound or being free, being liberated or not.
มัวแต่คตินิยมทิฏฐิ
There's only the belief values and viewpoints.
จะมหากรุณาไหมเล่า
Will the great compassion be given?
ทำไมมหากรุณาแล้วจะอุปโลกมาทำหาอะไร
If not, for what is it to assume this body and mind?
มาทำไม
What's the purpose of being here?
มาเป็นกายมาเป็นจิตทำไมเล่ามาทำหาอะไรเล่าทำไมมหากรุณา
For what is it to assume this body and mind without giving great compassion?
มาชมนกชมไม้หรือ
Coming here to enjoy the beauty of the scenery?
มาชมสังสารวัฏหรือ
Coming here to dwell on the scenery of samsara?
มาล้างสิ
Let's purify.
มาทำไมเล่า
What's the purpose of being here?
มาแข่งกันได้มาแข่งกันเสียมาแข่งกันมีมาแข่งกันเป็นหรือ
Just to compete with each other, to gain, to lose, to have, to be?
มาทำหาอะไร
What's the purpose of coming here for?
จบช่วยกันสิ
Ending to help one another.
นั่นแหละไม่แม้กระทั่งไม่เองไปด้วยกันเลยโลกทุกสิ่งทุกอย่าง
Disregard, even from the disregard itself
ร
altogether,
อบแห่งการวนเวียนในทิฏฐินิยานทัศนะ
so that it will give ending to the cycle of titi, knowing and seeing.
มันจะได้ยุติการวนเวียนของสมุทัยทั้งหลายโลก
So that it will give ending to the cycle of the samutai.
ดับล้างว่างล้างใจกันเรียกว่ามหากรุณา
Help through purification of extinction and emptiness. That is called the great compassion.
จะมัวแต่นำเสนออะไรเล่าลูกไม่แม้กระทั่งไม่เองเลยตรงๆ
Don't be preoccupied to present anything whatsoever. Be direct to give disregard even from the disregard itself.
มันจะยุติสมุทัยช่วยกันไปเองโดยอนุภาพแห่งสมุเฉดนี้
This mighty force of the deliberate cut through will naturally help give ending to the samutai.
อย่ามัวแต่มากปัญญาอย่ามัวแต่หลากหลายในทิฏฐิ
Don't be busy having plenty of wisdoms and variations of opinions.
โมหะส
This is the entire samutai of the desire, delusion, and the delusive attachment.